Elizabeth Merrick stood on the wooden auction platform in the middle of Red Fork, Texas, with a chalk-scrawled price tag hanging around her neck. $50. The board was heavy against her chest, the string biting into her skin. Dust swirled around her feet from the morning breeze. 50 grown men lined the street, hats pushed back, arms crossed, staring at her like she was a cow at market. 2 women across the road whispered behind their hands, one spitting into the dirt. A little girl, no older than 6, clutched a rag doll and stared up at Elizabeth with huge eyes, mouth open. This was 1841, Texas frontier. No state laws yet, just men and what they could get away with. Jacob Merrick, her husband of 8 years, stood 2 feet to her left. He was 30, sunburned, patchy beard, sweat stains under his arms. He smelled of yesterday's whiskey. He did not look at her. His eyes were locked on Amos Tate, the man in the yellowed vest who ran these domestic sales. "You said 50 cash," Jacob hissed, voice low but sharp. "I drove her here at dawn. She's healthy, can read, keeps books better than most men. No drop in price." Tate flipped open his greasy ledger, not bothering to look up. "50's high for used goods, Merrick. 28 years old, faded dress, no dowry, no milk cow or strong sons coming with. My buyer's doing you a favor." Elizabeth's hands clenched at her sides. Her throat burned. 8 years married, 2 miscarriages. Broke her back on Jacob's failing farm, slept in the same bed, cooked his meals, and now this. "Jacob," she whispered, voice cracking, "please, not like this." He glanced at her, just once. His eyes were hard, like chipped flint. "Wardell's coming tomorrow with the sheriff. Takes the farm, the mule, everything. You want to sleep in a ditch? This man's got land. Money. He'll treat you right." "Treat me right?" Her voice rose, sharp enough to cut. Heads turned. "You're selling me like a horse." Jacob's jaw tightened. He stepped closer, voice dropping to a hiss only she could hear. "You said whatever it takes. Remember? Last winter, starving? This is whatever it takes." Tate snapped his ledger shut. The handbell clanged, 3 sharp rings that echoed off the saloon and blacksmith shed. The crowd shuffled closer, boots scraping dirt. A dog barked. Somewhere a horse whinnied. "All right," Tate called, stepping to the platform edge. His voice boomed, practiced. "Red Fork, witness this legal transfer. Jacob Merrick, sound farmer in hardship, offers his lawful wife for new domestic arrangement. Starting bid, $50, sober, literate, God-fearing woman, proven childbearing hips. Who'll claim this Christian duty?" Silence. Then chuckles from the back. A man in a slouch hat spat tobacco juice. Elizabeth felt her knees lock. The price tag swayed against her breasts. $50. Less than Jacob paid for their mule last spring. A voice cut through from the right. Calm, confident. 50. Silas Hayward stepped forward. 40s. Neat beard. Clean coat. Polished boots. He owned the crossing 20 miles east. Sawmill, trading post. Land as far as you could ride in a day. Elizabeth had seen him once, buying nails at Hargrove's store. He hadn't glanced her way then. Tate nodded, eyes gleaming. "Mr. Silas Hayward bids 50. Fair price for frontier wife. Do I hear more?" No one moved. A cough. Boot shuffle. The little girl with the doll whispered to her mother. "Going once," Tate said, raising his hand. Elizabeth's vision blurred. She blinked hard, refusing tears. Not here. Not in front of them. "Going twice." Her stomach heaved. She wanted to scream. Claw Jacob's eyes out. Run. But where? No money. No family. Jacob held the only deed to her life. "Sold." Tate's hand slammed the railing. $50 to Mr. Hayward. Legal and witnessed." The crowd murmured approval. Jacob exhaled sharp, shoulders dropping. Relief, like he'd sold a bad mule. Tate waved them to a rickety table. Ink, quill, 3 sheets of folded paper. Hayward pulled a leather pouch from his coat. Coins clinked, heavy, real silver. Jacob's eyes lit up as Tate counted them out. 50 shiny dollars. "Sign here," Tate said, shoving the quill. "Merrick transfers all conjugal rights, marital duties, property claims. Hayward accepts full responsibility. Witnesses, me and Jed Hollis over there." Jacob signed fast, ink blot spreading. Hayward signed slower, precise, no flourish. Elizabeth stood frozen, price tag still around her neck. Chalk dust smeared her fingers when she touched it. Tate looked up. "Mrs. Hayward now. Come sign as transferred property." Her legs moved on their own. She stepped to the table. Quill trembled in her hand. Elizabeth Hayward. Ink shook, spelling her new cage. Jacob pocketed the pouch, already turning. "Load her things on his wagon, boys." He clapped Tate's shoulder. "Fair deal." He walked toward the saloon without looking back. Door swung. Laughter inside. Elizabeth ripped the price tag off, snapped the string. Board hit the dirt. Chalk $50 stared up at the sun. Hayward cleared his throat. "Wagon's ready. Half-day ride east. We'll talk terms on the road." Terms, like buying seed corn. She nodded once, jaw locked. Walked to the wagon. Her carpet bag already there. One dress, Bible, needle kit, all she owned. As the wagon rolled out, dust cloud rising, she saw Jacob through the saloon window, already at the bar. First drink poured, laughing with Tate. Something snapped inside her. Not tears, not rage, cold steel. He just sold his wife for whiskey money. She would remember that. The wagon hit a rut. She gripped the seat. Red Fork shrank behind. Silas Hayward rode silent beside her. Elizabeth stared ahead. One thought burned clear. This was not the end. Elizabeth Hayward's new life at Silas Hayward's crossing lasted exactly 14 months. Silas was not cruel. He had money, sawmill profits, trading post, 300 acres of decent grazing land. He built her a room off the main house with a real iron bed and a window that caught morning sun. She kept his books, cooked for his ranch hands, managed the store inventory. For the first time in years, she ate 3 meals a day without rationing flour. But Silas wanted children. He said it outright over supper one night, 3 months in. "Need heirs. Sons to run this place when I'm gone." Elizabeth nodded, smiled, lay still when he came to her bed. No babies came. By month 12, Silas's patience thinned. He drank more, talked less. Hired a local woman named Clara to help around the house, though everyone knew what that meant. Clara got pregnant by spring 1842. Silas married her in a quick justice of the peace ceremony. Elizabeth packed her carpet bag the same day. Silas handed her $5 for your trouble and pointed to the road west. "Don't come back." She walked 12 miles to Red Fork by sundown, feet blistered, $5 clutched in her fist. Slept in the church stable. Next morning, found work scrubbing floors at Hargrove's store for bed and meals. Buried herself in ledgers during breaks, practicing figures, until her eyes burned. Anything to not think about Jacob. Jacob Merrick found her there 6 months later, October 1842. She was sweeping the porch when his shadow fell across the boards. Same patchy beard, now grayer. Shirt torn at the shoulder. Eyes bloodshot. "Elizabeth," he said, like no year had passed. "God, I've been looking everywhere." She gripped the broom tighter. Jacob Merrick, Heard you lost the farm to Wardell. Working odd jobs now. He winced, stepped closer. Crowd slowed across the street. Town remembered the auction. Yeah. Well, things got bad. But I fixed it. Got a new place. 10 acres. Mule. Starting over. He lowered his voice. Need you back, Liz. Clara, my new wife. She run off. Took the mule. Half my tools. Left debts. I can't do this alone. She laughed, short and bitter. Alone? You sold me for saloon money. Now you want me back? Jacob glanced around, urgent. That was desperation. I was drunk, scared. Silas treated you good, right? Land, food? Better than me. But Clara, she's gone. I need a real wife. Someone who knows the land. Keeps books. Like you? Elizabeth's stomach twisted. Part of her, the part that remembered winter nights starving, wanted to believe him. The part that scrubbed floors, wanted a bed. A home. You swear? She asked, voice low. No more selling? No more schemes? Jacob grabbed her hands, rough, calloused. Swear on the Bible. Church'll marry us proper. You'll be Mrs. Merrick again. Legal. She searched his eyes, saw desperation, hunger. No love, but need. In Red Fork, 1842, a woman's choices were thin. Fine, she said. But if you betray me again? Never, he cut in. Pack up. We leave tomorrow. They married in the church next day. Justice Willard grumbled about irregular circumstances, but signed anyway. Elizabeth moved into Jacob's new cabin, mud-chinked logs, leaky roof, one room. She worked dawn to dusk, plowed, cooked, mended, kept books showing red ink every month. Jacob changed slow. First month, he was gentle, brought wildflowers, called her darlin'. By month 3, whiskey bottles appeared. Month 4, gambling started, cards at the saloon, just to make ends meet. Month 6, debts piled. Elizabeth tallied them nightly. $23 to Hargrove, $15 to the blacksmith, $8 fee debt. One night, March 1843, Jacob stumbled home late. Elizabeth sat by candlelight, ledger open. $62 owed, she said flatly. Wardell's riding tomorrow. Taking the plow. Jacob slumped at the table, bottle in hand. Playing poker. Big game. Double or nothing. Come out ahead. She slammed the ledger shut. You swore. No schemes. Schemes? He laughed, ugly. This is surviving. You think I like this dirt farm? Silence stretched. Elizabeth stared at flickering candle. Outside, coyotes yowled. Got a buyer, Jacob said, finally. Voice wheedling. Respected man, rancher east side, wants a wife who works, pays $100, clears all debts, new start. Her blood froze. No. Jacob leaned forward, eyes gleaming. Same as before. Legal here. Public square. Clean transaction. She stood, chair scraping. You sold me once. Swore you'd never... Desperate times, he yelled, slamming the table. Bottle tipped, whiskey pooling. $100. Ranchers got cattle, land. Better than Silas. You go? We pay debts? I buy better seed? You visit Sundays. Visit? Her voice broke. I'm your wife. Legally, yeah, but this fixes everything. Jacob grabbed her wrist. Sign papers tomorrow. Auction at noon. Done by dinner. She yanked free. Wrist throbbed red. No. Jacob's face darkened. Wardell takes everything tomorrow. Plow, cabin. You sleep in ditch again? I'd rather ditch than your auction block twice. He lunged, grabbing her shoulders. You will do this. Swore to obey. She twisted free, stumbled back. Candle snuffed. Dark room. Heavy breathing. Jacob, she whispered, hating the plea. Please. Silence. Then his voice cold. Noon tomorrow. Wear clean dress. He stormed out. Door slammed. Footsteps faded to saloon. Elizabeth sank to floor, back against wall. knees to chest. Silent sobs. No sound. Just shaking. Outside, wind howled, cabin creaked. Next morning, she rose before dawn, boiled coffee, fixed porridge. Jacob slept snoring. She packed carpetbag slow, Bible, 2 dresses, sewing kit, ledger, her figures. Left porridge bowl steaming. Walked to town alone. Square already buzzing. Wagons, horses, men gathering. Auction platform, same weathered boards. Chalkboard waiting. Jacob arrived noon sharp, cleaned up, 2 witnesses trailing, saloon buddies. Tate waited, ledger ready. Back again, Merrick. Wife number 3? Business, Jacob grunted. $100 start. Elizabeth climbed steps woodenly. Tate hung new board. $100. String bit neck again. Crowd bigger. Word spread. Whispers. Same woman? Sold twice? Tate rang bell. Red Fork. Legal transfer. Jacob Merrick offers wife for domestic arrangement. Starting $100. Elizabeth stared straight ahead. Chalk dust itched skin. 50, called voice back. Crowd murmured. Too low. 75, another. Jacob scowled. 100, Tate nodded. Mr. Elias Crow bids 100, rancher East Valley. Do I hear more? Silence. Going once. Elizabeth's hands shook again. Going twice. Silas Hayward watched from back, shook head, walked away. Sold, Tate slammed rail. 100 to Crow. Jacob exhaled huge, grabbed coins fast. Elizabeth ripped board off. Chalk $100 snapped in half. Elias Crow approached, 50s, thick gut, tobacco chew. Wagon ready, move lively. Jacob pocketed pouch, clapped Tate. Fair deal. Headed saloon, 3rd time. Elizabeth followed Crow to wagon. Carpetbag aboard. 1 dress extra now, Jacob's gift. Wagon lurched east, Crow silent first mile. You cook good? He grunted. Yes, she lied. Good. Ranch hands hungry. Elizabeth gripped seat. Red Fork vanished behind dust. Sold twice. 8 months married. Sworn love. Inside, steel hardened colder. He'll pay someday. Wagon hit pothole. She stared horizon. Elias Crow's ranch was 12 miles east of Red Fork, a sprawling spread of scrub oak, dry creek beds, and rocky pastures that barely supported 30 head of longhorn cattle. The main house was a low-slung adobe affair with a sagging porch and a cookhouse out back, where 10 ranch hands ate their meals. Elizabeth arrived with her carpetbag slung over one shoulder, following Crow through the dust as the wagon rolled to a stop. Women sleep in the bunkhouse end, Crow grunted, pointing to a long building with a divided wall. You cook, wash, mend. Ranch hands pay extra for clean shirts. No trouble, no questions. She nodded, throat dry. No bedroom this time. No pretense of wife. Just labor. The first week blurred into exhaustion. Dawn to dark, chopping onions, boiling beans, scrubbing pots black with grease, mending chaps split by cactus thorns. Ranch hands, rough men from Missouri and Mexico, ate in silence, tipping hats when she refilled plates. Crow checked the books nightly, grunting approval at her neat columns. Better than the last one, he said once. That was praise. But Crow hit when drunk. First time was week 3, over burnt cornbread. Fist to her shoulder. Bruise bloomed purple. Learn to cook, he slurred. Week 5, lip split, for slow service. She learned to stay out of arm's reach after supper. Cholera came in June 1843. Started with the water hand, puking yellow in the creek. Spread fast. 3 hands dead in 4 days. Crow locked the bunkhouse, wouldn't let Elizabeth near. She boiled water anyway, slipped it through cracks with clean rags. Crow got sick, week 2. Shaking, fever, racked. Elizabeth nursed him. Herbs from the dry goods chest. Broth spooned slow. He died sundown third day, gasping her name. Books. Land. Yours if... Ranch hands gathered porch next morning. 10 men. Dusty hats in hands. Foreman Ruiz spoke Spanish first, switched English. Patron said you get half if you stay. Rest split among us. Or we sell everything. You walk. Elizabeth stood straight. Lip scar tight. Books? First. She tallied. 32 cattle. 200 acres. Half decent. Dry goods worth 140. Debts 87. Ranch hands signed quitclaims. She burned Crow's will. Verbal counted frontier law. Sold 10 cows for $320 cash. Paid debts. Kept 22 head. Leased grazing to neighbors. Slept bunkhouse alone now. Learned cattle brands, fence mending, horse trading. Red Fork whispered, Widow Crow, third man dead. 9 months later, October 1844, Jacob Merrick rode up alone. Horse sway-backed, ribs showing. Beard full gray, eyes sunken. Ruiz met him gate, rifle loose. Que quiere? Saw Merrick, Jacob called past. Elizabeth, talk. She stepped porch. Apron dusted flour. Heart kicked. Not fear. Cold anger. What, Jacob? He dismounted stiff, hat twisting hands. Heard about Crow? Cholera, sorry, but need help. She crossed arms. Help? Lost everything again. Cards, drought. Working Wardell's now. Stable boy. But got a deal. Rich planter, Louisiana. Wants wife who works ranches. Pays $300. Elizabeth laughed, sharp bark. Hands clenched porch rail till knuckles white. 300, she repeated. My price went up. Jacob stepped closer, wheedling. Clears my debts and yours. Planter's got plantation. Cotton slaves, big house. Better than bunkhouse. Sign tomorrow. Auction Red Fork noon. Clean transaction. Ranch hands drifted porch, eyes hard. Ruiz thumbed rifle hammer. No, Elizabeth said. Voice, steady steel. Jacob blinked. What? No auction. No sale, no you. His face darkened. You're my wife. Legally. Church said. Church don't own me, she cut. Crow dead. Ranch mine. You're stable boy. Jacob lunged porch steps. Wardell takes everything tomorrow. You'll be on street, too. Ruiz stepped forward, rifle up. Vete. Jacob froze. Spat dust. Fine. Street it is. He mounted, wheeled horse, galloped dust trail. Elizabeth exhaled, shaking. Hands trembled now. Said no. First time. Ruiz spat. Hombre loco. Want we follow? No, she said. He'll be back. Next day, Red Fork square packed. Word flew. Third sale, 300. Men from 3 counties. Women gossip stores. Auction platform fresh painted, chalkboard ready. $300. Elizabeth rode in noon sharp. Her horse, not swayback. Side saddle from Crow's tack room. Calico dress mended neat, hair pinned proper. Carpet bag slung saddle. 5 ranch hands trailed, rifles loose. Crowd parted. Whispers. Widow Crow? Brought muscle? Jacob center platform, sweating. Tate ledger out. Buyer waited. Fat planter, Louisiana, silk vest, slaves holding reins. Tate rang bell. Crowd hushed. Red Fork, Tate boomed. Jacob Merrick offers wife domestic transfer. Starting $300. Elizabeth spurred horse platform front. Dismounted clean. Stood tall. Jacob paled. Liz, what, no sale? She called. Voice carried clear. Murmurs rippled. Tate frowned. Legal transaction, Mr. Tate, she cut loud. Jacob Merrick sold me twice. First Silas Hayward, $50. Second Elias Crow, 100. Both dead. Now third time, not legal, not moral, not mine. Crowd buzzed. Planter shifted uneasy. Jacob stepped forward. Hiss. Sign or ruin us. She faced him square. First time eye to eye since auction 1. You ruined me twice, she said. Took oaths, broke them, beat me with words, fists, auctions. No more. Jacob grabbed arm. You're coming! Ruiz rifle cocked. 4 others leveled. Planter backed horse. Tate raised hands. Hold! What's law here? Justice Willard pushed front, old white beard, spectacles. New territory codes. Repeat sales void without wife's consent. Heard enough. No sale. Crowd roared. Half cheers, half jeers. Jacob shoved through, cursing. Horse gone, stolen in chaos. Elizabeth mounted calm. Ranch hands flanked. Rode out square heads high. Back ranch. Ruiz grinned. Jeffa now. She nodded porch. Sun setting. Carpetbag beside. Free. But Jacob returned midnight. Banging door. Drunk. Raging. You ruined me! Bottle through window. Glass shattered. She barred door. Rifle ready. Go! He kicked. Wardell tomorrow. Street for both. Your debts. Your ruin. Silence. Footsteps retreated. Dawn. Wardell arrived. Sheriff badge. 2 deputies. Merrick's farm. Sign over or jail? Jacob nowhere. Stable empty. Wardell eyed Elizabeth. You his wife? Was, she said. Sold me thrice. Judge voided. Wardell grunted. Papers say married. Ruiz stepped forward. Ranch Crow. She owns. Tension thick. Deputies' hands holsters. Elizabeth pulled deed. Crow's scrawled will. Quitclaim signed. Check Austin records. Wardell scanned. Clean. Spat. Merrick's problem. Rode off. Elizabeth exhaled. Hands shook again. Stood ground. Won. Ruiz clapped shoulder. Fiesta? Tomorrow, she said. Work first. Sun rose. Cattle load. Free, but hunted. Jacob vanished weeks. Rumors. Saloon fights. Mexico border. Elizabeth tallied books. Ranch profitable. Hired 2 more hands. Winter 1844. Letter arrived. Sealed wax. German script. Heron Elizabeth. Heinrich Muller. Austin. Trade caravans. Need bookkeeper. Heard Red Fork. Good pay. Room. She stared paper long. New start. Burned Jacob's old marriage papers that night. Ashes, swirled chimney. 3rd time said no. Now her turn. Elizabeth Merrick stared at the letter from Heinrich Muller 1 more time, then folded it carefully into her apron pocket. It was January 1845. The ranch was hers now. 22 cattle fattened on winter grass, bunkhouse full of paying hands, dry goods turning profit. But Red Fork felt small. Jacob's shadow lingered in every saloon whisper, every sideways glance at the woman sold 3 times. She saddled her horse at dawn, rode to Austin alone, 60 miles southwest. Muller's trade company filled a full block. Warehouses stacked with cotton bales, whiskey barrels, Mexican silver, rifles for Comanche raids. Heinrich Muller himself met her at the office door. 50s, thick German accent, spectacles on a chain, vest straining over his belly. Frau Merrick, he said, peering. Red Fork? Heard the auction stories. Come. His office smelled of ink and tobacco. Ledgers towered on shelves. Muller shoved a chair forward. Show me books. Elizabeth pulled her ranch ledger. Neat columns, profit tallies, debt cleared. Muller scanned pages, grunted approval. Clean figures. No fudging. Most men lie numbers. You don't. Truth pays better, she said. He laughed, belly shaking. Sit. Terms. $20 month. Room above store. Keep all books. Caravans too. Wagon tallies. Comanche tolls. Start tomorrow. She nodded. Shook his ink-stained hand. Rode back to ranch. Sold cattle for $450 cash. Quit-claimed land to Ruiz for a fair split. Packed bunkhouse life into 1 carpet bag, plus a trunk Muller sent. Austin swallowed her first week. Muller's caravans ran like clockwork. Wagons to San Antonio loaded with flour, returning with hides and silver. Elizabeth tallied manifests dawn to midnight, fingers black with ink. Room above store was clean, Iron bed, basin, lock-on door. First real privacy since marriage. Mueller tested her hard. Week 3. Comanche raid, lost 3 wagons. Recalculate losses, blame drivers, or weather. She worked till 2 a.m., found driver skimmed hides, weather minor. Fired him next morning. Mueller raised pay to $25. By 1846, she ran half the office. Mueller called her my eagle eye, taught her German trade curses, Texas land laws. She memorized shipping routes, Comanche peace prices, Mexican peso rates. Mueller's wife died that fall, consumption, no children. Elizabeth cooked his suppers, managed his grief. 1847, Mueller got sick, started with cough, ended lungs, bedridden 3 months. Elizabeth nursed him, kept books running. Last night he gripped her hand. "Will," he rasped. "Everything, store, caravans, land South Austin, no blood heirs. You earned it." "Don't talk foolish," she said. He died next dawn. Lawyer arrived noon with sealed paper. Elizabeth Merrick, sole heir. All property, goods, chattels. Austin buzzed. German left fortune to bunkhouse cook. Auction widow? Mueller's nephews sued from Galveston. Contested will. Trial lasted 6 weeks. Elizabeth testified calm. Manifests proved her work. Mueller's letters praised her. Witnesses saw her run company while he faded. Judge ruled her favor. Verdict: $28,000 estate. All hers. She was 34. Richest woman, Austin County. First move: renamed Mueller Trading Merrick Mercantile. Hired 10 men. Expanded caravans to Corpus Christi. Bought 400 acres south. Prime grazing after drought broke. Stocked 150 longhorns. Built proper house. 2 stories. Wide porch. Iron safe for ledgers. Red Fork herd. Riders brought news. Jacob Merrick? Fallen hard. Wardell owned him. Stable boy turned field hand. Drank wages. Fought. Jailed twice for brawls. Lived. Lean-to behind saloon. Elizabeth waited. Built. 1849. Drought hit. Cattle thinned. She drove wagons herself. First woman caravan boss, Austin to Laredo. Comanches ambushed at Devil's Creek. Lost 2 men, 3 mules. She faced Chief Red Knife, horse to horse. Offered double toll in silver. Lived. Returned with hides worth triple loss. Mueller's old partners tried buyout. Offered $18,000. She countered $32,000. They blinked. She owned them by Christmas. 1850, Jacob appeared. Rode swayback mule to her Austin ranch. Rags for clothes, tooth missing. Begged porch steps. "Liz," he croaked. "Heard. Mueller. Rich now. Help me. 1 loan. $100. Farm again." She stood above, skirt brushing his knees. New dress. Silk from New Orleans. Hair proper. "100? Start," he whined. "Pay back double." She signaled Foreman. "Check his debts." Foreman returned. $240 owed Wardell. Saloon $80. Jail fines $35. Total $35. Elizabeth smiled thin. "Wardell works for me now. Bought his spread last month." Jacob blinked. "You? What?" She pulled checkbook. "Pay debts? Work my ranch? $10 month? Bunkhouse? No whiskey?" He nodded frantic, signed papers, moved cattle pens next day. But she watched. Jacob stole tools week 2, sold for whiskey, caught red-handed. Foreman hauled him office. Thief. Jacob knelt. Desperate. 1 chance. "No," she said. "Wardell, take him. Chain gang. 5 years. Jacob lunged desk. "You bitch. Sold you fair. Legal." "Legal then," she said. "Not now. Texas codes changed. Wife selling void. You're mine debtor." Sheriff dragged him yelling. Chain gang, South Quarry. Elizabeth watched wagon roll. No tears. Paid Wardell bonus. Bought his saloon. Renamed Merrick House. No credit for drunks. 1851, drought ended. Cattle boomed. She owned 800 head. Mercantile tripled. Ships Galveston now. Hired school teacher for ranch kids. Built church Austin outskirts. Donated land. Jacob broke quarry year 2. Escaped. Caught Amarillo. Stealing horse. Added 3 years. Elizabeth heard rumors. Auction widow owns half county. German's ghost watches ledgers. Men proposed. Rich ones. She laughed. Got my hands full. Spring 1852, Muller nephew tried again. Land grab lawsuit. She countersued. Fraud. Back taxes. Won. Took their Galveston warehouse. Jacob worked chain gang 4 years total. Paroled 1849 early. Good behavior. Vanished border. Mexico whispers. Elizabeth tallied empire, $47,000 cash. Tui 100 acres. 200 cattle. 3 stores. 25 hands. Austin mayor shook hand. Richest woman Texas. But nights, alone big house, she pulled old carpetbag. Touched Bible from Red Fork. Felt auction board ghost, chalk dust, crowd eyes. Sold 3 times. Owned once. Empire rose from that dirt. Jacob returned, summer 1852. Not begging. Sneaking. Summer 1852 burned hot across central Texas. Elizabeth Merrick's empire stretched from Austin to the Colorado River. 2,100 acres fenced tight. 1,200 Longhorns branded EM. 3 mercantiles shipping cotton to Galveston. 25 hands drawing wages every Saturday. Her Austin house stood 2 stories tall now. White clapboard, wide porch with rocking chairs, iron safe in the office holding $47,000 cash. Red Fork called her the auction widow. Austin toasted Texas's Iron Lady. Jacob Merrick returned August 15th. Not begging this time. Sneaking. Ranch hand Pete spotted him first, crawling barbed wire fence at midnight, cutting toward cattle pens. Pete raised rifle, whistled sharp. 3 hands rode up fast, ropes ready. Jacob bolted scrub oak, tripped rock. Hands dragged him kicking to bunkhouse. Tied spread eagle to posts. Elizabeth arrived 4 a.m., skirt hitched, rifle under arm. Lantern light showed Jacob, filthier than quarry days, new scar across cheek, eyes wild. "Liz!" he gasped. "Help! Bandits! Mexicans!" She set lantern on table, pulled chair close. "Pete saw you cut fence, heading my best cows." "Lies!" he spat. "Ranch hands hate me, you know." "No, you escaped chain gang 1849, she said flat. Wardell telegraphed, caught Amarillo horse theft, vanished border, now rustling my cattle." Jacob twisted ropes. Desperate, no food, Mexico dried up, Comanches, 1 chance. "Steal from me!" She leaned forward. "Like selling me 3 times. His eyes narrowed. "That was legal, frontier custom. You lived better." She stood slow. Rifle cocked, loud, in bunkhouse quiet. "Texas changed. 1845 statehood. New codes. Wife selling void without consent. You're a thief now." Hands shifted boots. Pete spat. "Hang him, boss." "No," Elizabeth said. "Law." Sheriff Harlan arrived dawn, badge glinting. Red charges. Rustling, 1,200 cattle value, trespass, parole violation. Hauled Jacob jail wagon. He screamed curses. "Bitch! Auction whore!" till out of earshot. Elizabeth watched dust settle. Cold satisfaction. Not finished. September 1st, she rode Austin County Courthouse. Filed papers. Civil suit, Merrick vs. Merrick. Charges, unlawful enslavement through repeated spousal sale. Damages, $10,000. First suit Texas history. County exploded. Austin Statesman headline, Auction widow sues ex-husband for slavery. Reporters, Galveston, Houston. Women Austin whispered stores. Men's saloon argued, frontier right. Trial set. October 15th. Judge Amos Caldwell, 50s, white beard, spectacles, fair but firm. Jury, 12 white landowners, no Red Fork men, Elizabeth requested. Jacob lawyered up. Hiram Tate, auctioneer kin, slick San Antonio brief. Elizabeth hired Elias Grant, ex-governor aide, anti-slavery leanings, $500 retainer. Week before trial, Tate cornered her courthouse steps. Settle. Jacob pleads rustling. 6 months. Drop civil. No, she said. $5,000 his debts paid. She laughed. Tried killing him chain gang. Now law kills him. Crowd-packed courtroom opening day. Standing room only. Women fanned furiously. Reporters scribbled. Jacob shackled, suit borrowed, clean-shaven. Judge Caldwell banged gavel. Merrick vs. Merrick, unlawful enslavement. Plaintiff. Grant stood. Your Honor, 1841-1843. Defendant sold plaintiff 3 times. Silas Hayward, $50. Elias Crow, $100. Attempted third, $300. Frontier custom violated emerging Texas codes. Plaintiff seeks damages. Precedent ban wife selling. Tate jumped. Objection. Historical practice. No slavery. Wives. Voluntary. Overruled, Caldwell snapped. Witnesses. Witness 1. Pete Ruiz. Swore rustling. Cut my fence 2 a.m. crawling to boss's stock. Witness 2. Auctioneer Amos Tate Sr. squirmed. Handled sales. Public square. Witnesses galore. Legal then. Grant Cross. Consent? Tate. Husband's right. Witness 3. Justice Willard. 1843. Third sale halted. Told Merrick repeat sales void without wife consent. Territory Code 1842. Jacob testified day 2. Sweated buckets. Desperate times. Debts. She lived better. Hayward land. Crow Ranch. Grant Cross. Sold her twice. Swore church never again. 6 months later, third auction. Jacob. She agreed. Survival. Crowd gasped. Elizabeth stared stone. Her turn. Day 3. Dress black silk. Hair pinned perfect. Walked steady. Grant. State facts. Married Jacob 1836. Farm failed. 1841. Sold Silas Hayward. $50 public square. Lived crossing 14 months. Clara pregnant. Cast out with $5. Returned Jacob 1842. Church wedding. 6 months later, sold Elias Crow $100, worked ranch, nursed cholera. Crow died inherited. 1844, Jacob demanded third sale, $300, refused. Publicly. Courthouse steps. Tate Cross. Voluntary first 2? Trapped, she said. No money, no family, no law, debt prison threat, not voluntary, enslavement. Tate smirked. Frontier women accepted. I didn't, jury murmured. Closing arguments day 5. Grant. Texas grows. Statehood demands dignity. Wife selling chains, women like slavery chains, blacks. Set precedent. Tate. Custom. Progress kills frontier. Judge charged jury. Did sales constitute unlawful restraint? Damages, if yes. Deliberated 4 hours. Returned 10 p.m. Foreman stood. Guilty. Unlawful enslavement. Recommend $7,500 damages. Courtroom erupted. Cheers. Weeps. Jacob lunged table. Lies. Deputies wrestled down. Caldwell banged. Sentence. 10 years state penitentiary. Pay $7,500 or labor it. Precedent. Spousal sales void Texas henceforth. Reporters stampeded. Statesman next day. Wife auction. Ends in slavery verdict. New law born. Elizabeth walked out calm. Grant shook hand. History, ma'am. Jacob dragged past, chains rattling. Last glare, pure hate. She met reporter's porch. Justice. Texas moves forward. Empire secured. Score settled. Years passed. Jacob died prison, 1857. Dysentery. Unmarked grave. Elizabeth expanded. Railroads, 1860s. Cattle drives, Kansas. Banks, Austin. Richest Texas woman, 1870s. $2.3 million. Married never again. Funded girls' schools. Red Fork, Austin. No auction blocks, plaques read. Died 1891, age 78. Austin funeral, thousands. Governor eulogy. Broke chains, none saw. Grave Oakwood Cemetery. Simple stone. Elizabeth Merrick, 1836, 1891, freed by law she made Red Fork Square. No auctions after. Statue her now. Bronze, standing tall. Sold 3 times. Bought herself once. How it's made. Full story.